All right, let's take a look inside an actual Schoology course. We're going to break it down into the three main sections: your left-hand navigation pane, the central materials section, and your upcoming events and assignments. So let's get started over here. When you first get into Schoology and left-hand navigation pane, you are able to go ahead and edit your picture. You also can adjust your course options. One of the things that's not on here right now because there's nobody in the course is view as, and you can view the course from a student or a parent perspective. You can send a direct message to someone in the course. You can edit the info or any of the privacy or course settings from right here. So if at some point you set the course up and there's something that you need to change, you can quickly go in there to navigate that. You can choose to moderate any posts that are made within Schoology. I would caution against that, as that would require a lot of time and effort, because anytime someone would post, you would have to approve it before it would actually be posted directly to Schoology. And then again, we've talked about the recycling bin before, but should you happen to delete any of your work from this course, you would click on the recycle bin and hopefully it would still be there and you'd be able to locate it. The first section we have is our materials section, and what our materials section refers to are essentially our course content, so the stuff that is included over here. If I click this arrow, I can quickly navigate to any of the folders that I have. This is especially helpful if I tend to get a lot of folders within my Schoology course. I also have my updates section, and we'll talk about updates a little bit later, but essentially updates are a way to post messages to the entire group or to the entire or all the people in your course regarding some information that you need them all to have. There is a Schoology gradebook, but keep in mind the Schoology gradebook does not connect to campus, and that does not mean that people shouldn't use it. It certainly is a quick and efficient way to give grades and feedback to students via Schoology, and then you would just need to go ahead and transfer any of that information into your campus gradebook. You also have the grade setup option, and just going in here very quickly, you can decide what kind of grade categories you're going to have, what type of weighting your grades are going to have, if it's going to show up numeric, elementary, secondary, so on and so forth. You can decide on some of these automatically calculated grade settings, and so additionally, you can look at any scales or rubrics that you've made. And rubrics, when you click on those, you can add those to any of your course assignments or discussions or short answer questions and quizzes. We also have a section called Mastery Reporting, and I won't get too much into that. But Mastery Reporting essentially allows you to align standards to discussions, quizzes, or assignments. And when students complete those tasks, so let's say for a quiz, if they did everything they're supposed to and passed the quiz, we could essentially say that they have obtained mastery on this particular standard. So what mastery reporting does is it allows us to have a grid or a very quick overview of who has mastered particular learning objectives in a course. And this is a great feature to work with, maybe not one to necessarily start with when you're first getting used to Schoology, but I'd definitely dive into it and look at how maybe you could start aligning learning objectives, at least with your quizzes. Schoology also has the ability to give students badges, and that can provide for some sort of gamification in your classes. So Schoology has pre-made badges. You can also go ahead and you can create your own badges, or you can import from resources if you had other badges saved there. Badging is just another incentive, I guess, for students to complete some of the tasks or to track the tasks they have completed within the course. Attendance is probably something you are not going to use, as there are other ways to keep track of attendance. We do that generally via campus. Members will allow you to see all of the people that are enrolled in your course, and they will all come up right here. The people with the crown by them will be the people that are the administrators of the course. So say another teacher joined you in this course and you wanted them to have access to add materials and content, you can click on the cog to go ahead and make them an administrator. You can also unenroll students that are not needed in the course. You also have here your course access code, and you can give this to students in order to join the course. You can organize your members into a grading group, and this is also a huge feature that people don't know a lot about, but it would be helpful to use. if I click add grading groups, all of my students would populate right here. And let's say I wanted to have a grading group, perhaps my students were on reading level C, and I could make a group that says reading level C, insert the students that need to be in that group, and I could click create grading group. Because I don't have students, obviously I can't do that at this point. But what that allows me to do is to assign tasks such as discussions, assignments, or quizzes to only that grading group. And students won't know who belongs to what group or any sort of information such as that, but it really allows you to do some grouping with your students to give them the content that they truly need for their learning, to kind of personalize and differentiate their learning. I can also click on analytics, which will tell me who has done what type of work in the course, so I can see how many people have participated in discussions, how many times the course has been accessed. It's really just basically kind of a data point for you to look at. And the last thing is workload planning. And what workload planning allows you to do is to see a student's workload over a course of time. So if I had students in here, I would see how much or how many assignments or quizzes that they have to complete in all of their courses. And I could kind of adjust, maybe I don't want to give this quiz on Wednesday because 50% of my students have a biology test that day or something else. So it kind of allows you to do a little bit of planning to make hopefully your course material most effective for your students.